Okay, you're good, Charlie.
Good. Okay, this is the sixth year we've done this program, and it's really a celebration of this time of the year that Dora had talked about a few times in different talks. I remember in person back then. And it's about a celebration of the winter solstice and the holidays which are happening. And it's a very spiritual time of the year. So it's usually it's on Sunday, the actual winter solstice this year. So we're in the uh, the process is very 3 days away before there's usually you'll be letting people in? Yeah. Lynn? Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, so let's go. The thing is, this takes place. It's a two-part process. Part of the thing is the talking, and then we have you have a meditation, which I'll lead, but don't leave. I think some people left last year because it's a two-part program, and then it goes on, and then we have Dora, a video of Dora talking about the holiday, and then she leads a short meditation. So please stay on. Don't leave after the first meditation process. So, okay. So we're ready to start, huh? No, that's the wrong one.
It's important to have a technological glitch or two.
Yeah, we usually always have it. There we got the right window. So you're going to still be having people coming in, Lynn?
We'll probably continue to admit people because we usually tell them till 10 after, but don't worry about them.
No, but you can't put on
They
the
should.
you can't put on the hide the floating things if you're having still permit people. It comes back every time you let a new person in.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, then we can stop admitting people. They're
Okay,
tardy
let's.
anyway.
I'm glad I made it in on time.
We could stop there for a minute and before I put on that last thing there, which hides the floating things on the thing that come up. So do you tell me you keep on letting people in until you're really ready to go and then we can start?
Okay. We'll wait a couple minutes then. So maybe you want to stop the recording and then start it over, Leonie, so we don't have all this yakking at the beginning. Yourselves. The winter solstice is one of the most powerful points of the year, when the energy pattern of the earth pauses, shifts, and moves in the opposite direction. For 3 days around the solstice point, we may physically, mentally, and spiritually experience this standstill and shift of direction. At the solstice, the Earth's axis reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. The solstice in the northern hemisphere is the shortest and darkest day of the year. It marks the symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. The gradual waning of daylight hours is reversed and begins to grow lighter again.
Spiritually, the solstices and equinoxes are inner cosmic festivals of the cyclical energy patterns of the whole Earth and the living inner forces of nature. Usually I start off with a little thing about astrology, what's happening for the new year, and I will do that again. Astrology is a study of the forces alive in the inner atmosphere on various states or fields of consciousness. It affects individuals, groups, countries, and the world in relationship to the energy blueprint that a particular entity is involved in its own energy cycles. So I'm just quickly looking at some of the overall energy patterns of the upcoming year and how it may generally affect us. Very powerful, at times challenging astrological forces have been at play the last few years and certainly were in 2025, and they will continue into 2026 also. First was Pluto, the planet which symbolizes dramatic life and death transformations and such, is now in the group-oriented sign of Aquarius for approximately the next 20 years. In 2026, many of the slower-moving planets, like Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, which were hovering on the cusp between two signs, will all be moving totally into new signs and changes of their elemental orientations, which before they were water and earth signs, they are now changing into fire and air signs in their cycles in 2026 and beyond. Each planet has its own cycle. Saturn stays in one sign for 2.5 years, Uranus for 7 years, and Neptune stays in one sign for about 14 years. Each planet has its own energy significance and what it symbolically relates to within our own psyche and the world, along with its interactions and with other planets called transits, and the houses, which is symbolic physical manifestations in different areas of our life that are affecting us and the world during different cycles of time. Excuse me 1 second, I have to blow my nose. Okay, thank you. With Saturn and Neptune now moving into the fiery sign of Aries in 2026 for their respective cycles of time, it may inaugurate new and at times dramatic fiery activity, which will affect individual people and the world at large. Uranus will be in the air sign of Gemini, which it was for the few months already in 2025. Uranus, as a planet and a symbol, is connected to the changing areas of how we use our minds and communicate. An example would be the use of AI, which is affecting our lives to a greater degree more and more these days. Uranus is said to be connected to the higher mind and the will aspect of karma in the spiritual understanding of the archetypical meanings of the planets. Uranus is all about change as a concept of living. It has some strong connections to Americans' past changes while it traveled through Gemini in past cycles of time. But each cycle is new, and that's another one of Uranus's energies. It represents the new. So we shall see how it will manifest as we live it. In numerology, 2026 is a 1 year universally. A 1 year is said to be one of new beginnings. Overall, it's a time to plant new seeds of activity and for expanding one's understandings. Not everything started in a one cycle will take hold and flourish, but it's a good time to initiate new things and ideas. At the same time, we each have our own individual yearly number cycle also, which may or may not be in harmony with the one universal number cycle.
Let's hope these new changes will be beneficial and uplifting overall for the whole Earth and all of humanity. Charlie will now lead us in our Friday group peace meditation, which later will be followed by an audio talk and meditation by Dora.
Okay, folks, let's all relax and calm our physical body. Try to feel our connectedness to our heart center and feel our interconnection with all those people who are connected here right now with us. That point of center within our heart. Let us feel our connection to nature all around us. And to the inner forces within nature and within ourselves. Take a deep breath. Continue to relax our physical body, letting go of all tensions, Taking another deep breath. Tuning in to what Dora used to like to call our etheric body. The connection to light and prana. Feel our interconnection to that field of consciousness. Taking another deep breath. And now connecting to our emotional field of consciousness. Let us feel it at peace at this moment of time. Letting go of all worries and fears and just be present. As we continue to deepen and integrate, let us take another deep breath and connect to our mental field of consciousness and bring our focus of attention as best we can to the present moment, to the here and now. Taking another deep breath, and now connecting to what Dora used to like to call the inner self, that place of unity, that place of compassion, that place of peace, deep within us, the point from where we center. Feel our connection to our inner selves. Taking another deep breath. Let us feel if we can align our inner selves to a universal field of healing, a field of healing, compassion, love, and connectedness. In our imagination, let us feel we are breathing in the healing light and then surrendering it out, radiating it out, first to anyone we know who may be in need. And now sending out this compassionate healing light to the whole earth and to any situation of difficulty which exists on earth. Inwardly calling upon the angelic and archangel forces of healing, which are alive all around us, feeling our connection to them and asking for them to be with us in the process of helping and healing others. sending this powerful healing light to the whole earth. To the inner self of all of humanity. And to all sentient beings of the four elements, of the earth, of the waters, of the air, and the element of fire, and all they represent, both physically and symbolically. As you can see by the chart, this is the cycles of equinoxes and solstices. And the winter solstice happens on Sunday, December 21st at 10:03 a.m. in Eastern Time. Oh, uh-oh. I think it jumped a step. Hold on one second, folks. I have to stop it. Get myself back on order here. Sorry about this, folks. We always have one little, gives us a little rest to, nope, it's not shutting off here. Hold on. Okay. Ready to get back here. The following is paraphrased from Christmas of the Angels.
Sorry, you have to go people first. Let's go people turn. Let's go people. Let's go people, yeah. Let's go people.
It's not complete. Hello?
Somebody needs to mute whoever that
Yeah.
is.
Okay, again, the following is paraphrased from the Christmas of the Angels, a pamphlet published with the creative assistance of Dora Kuntz, talking about the winter solstice time of the year. The whole holiday season, December each year, is a joyful time of peace and goodwill towards all people. To those sensitive, it brings forth the inherent unity and the essential inseparability of all of humanity. It is also a time to feel our connectedness with the superphysical beings, which also play their part in the inner worlds.
These beings of angels and archangels are living presences who partake in the inner evolution of the earth itself and with humanity. Indeed, the whole angelic outlook upon life differs very considerably from the human. We generally look upon the universe from the standpoint of form, thinking first of the form and only then of the life that energizes and ensouls it. That is the typically human point of view.
And even when the inner vision is opened and sight of the invisible worlds is gained, the human observer still looks first at the form side of those worlds, and only partially at the consciousness playing through the different forms.
The angel's point of view is exactly the opposite. They look first at the life or consciousness, and then, only as a secondary consideration, at the form in which that life is enshrined. That is the typically angelic point of view.
If we look at a human being, for example, if somebody had that ability to see, we should first look at the physical body. And then if we can see, we look at their emotional, mental, and causal bodies, seeing their different colors and striations, and judging their character and inner possibilities according to the delicacy and arrangement.
But the angel would regard the person from the standpoint of consciousness, would look to see how far spiritual life has manifested in the individual, how many forces were able to play through that person, and only then would the angel look at the form of the higher bodies.
This is the fundamental difference in outlook belonging to two separate lines of evolution. This season and the winter solstice are turning points of all the forces of nature on every plane and at every level of consciousness. A time in which a direct and mighty outpouring of creative power and spiritual energy from the highest takes place. We will now listen to Dora talking about this time of the year.
I believe that there are these angelic beings and that they are part of our world picture. I've emphasized that the idea of Christmas, even if it's not called Christmas, it's really the winter solstice coming in, is really a world idea. And what I feel very strongly, particularly at this time, is that we do not realize how closely we are bound together in the world. We share so many ideas, and more or less what I feel strongly today is we don't realize that we are bound together by our feelings. That our feelings do not stop by the body, that what we feel reaches other people. And that we have, therefore, a much more profound effect upon one another and the world because our feelings reach around the world. And therefore, happiness, unhappiness, I personally feel that today there is great anxiety in the world. I really think there is a sort of pervasive anxiety in the world. And I think it is shared again. There are angelic forces and there are angels. I think they have a part to play in the world around us. They have their own roles, these beings, to play. They do not only exist to help humanity, as we sometimes think. I think they have their part of the world of nature. They are also playing their part, if we can call it, in a divine plan, a divine world. I'm not talking about one faith only, I'm talking about it as a world picture. I think that at Christmas time, that these beings, which we call angels, do have a special role to play. These beings, and I'm going to talk about their work and something of what they do. At this time of year, I think all over the world, because with the winter solstice and because so many religions have this faith, pour a special energy and a special blessing upon this world. It is an energy which all of us can appreciate if we understand how to connect with it and how we can use it for helping others. It isn't for us, it is for helping the world. That angels are part of a world picture. They are, of course, living and not in the physical world as we see it. Wherever we go, there are really these angelic presences all through the land. And I always think of them as that. Their outlook on life is not like ours. You must think, first of all, is in much bigger terms than ours. We think in terms of our small communities. We think of a separated world. They are thinking of large blocks, this sense of unity. I think people today and in the next 2 weeks, they will be praying in many churches, in many religious places, and they will have this sense of devotion, and I think very much often this sense of sharing. I mean, don't you think this very often goes with the Christmas spirit today? It doesn't last the whole year necessarily, but for this place it does, doesn't it? I think what the angels have, beside this sense of strength and balance, I think This is why symbol of light is involved so differently from us. They have a joyousness. They have compassion. We feel compassion. If we could really feel compassion, if you are helping people without constantly judging what is right or wrong, it is the orderly process. If you develop anger because something is very wrong when you are helping somebody, your part of you becomes split again into anger instead of spending your energy completely in sending love and compassion. It's a very difficult thing to practice, isn't it? And this is the month, therefore, besides the sharing and the giving, we could all help. If we could say, even for these 2 or 3 weeks, I get irritated, I get angry, I get depressed, not only because it is in me, but I'm reacting to the atmosphere of thousands of people around me. Because the outside influences at this time of the year and at this particular year are very powerful also. I think if we learn that, we each are giving something of ourselves. And Christmas isn't the giving of presents, it's a giving of ourselves in our thoughts, in our prayers, and this sort of thing. I think this, and that requires discipline. This is the greater gift than giving presents, I really feel, to keep this going and thinking about it for the next 2 or 3 years. 3 years wouldn't be nice. I meant to say 2 or 3 weeks. It'd be lovely if I could say 2 or 3 years. We can call upon their energies through prayer, through thinking, if we are imbued with the desire to help others. I think they also are in the world of ideas. I think the world today is in a great crisis of many changes. I think if all of us could think of these beings, and I like the word associated with them. In Sanskrit they call devas, the beings of light. And I think we all in this way could, in our daily lives, think at Christmas, this tremendous outpouring of love towards humanity from these beings, if we realize it. Shall we have a meditation now? So what I would like us to see is to relax and just to feel as close as a group as we can. Now let us think of a tree, a waterfall, whatever it is, which to us is a symbol of peace. Let's visualize that. Now let us be just absolutely still and quiet within us for one moment. let us think of the angels for one moment and think of humanity and send out peace with the blessing of the angels. These thoughts of peace. Thank you.
You are held by holy angels, holy angels, all around you. Hush now, sleep, child, sing the holy angels. We are holding you. You can rest. Morning will come, child. The dawn will break through the darkness. We are holding you through the light of the newborn day. Lulu, 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 you are held by holy angels, holy angels, all around you. We are holding you. You can rest.
Well, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank
Thank you, Charlie.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
you.
That was
Everyone.
wonderful.